People of Earth, the following podcast is not real, because if it were real, we would have gotten at least passing interest from HBO by now. Alright, no sponsors this week. Didn't need Cassandra to see that one coming, so I can make up my own. This episode brought to you by Single Fling. Do you know that thing where you're waiting in a cafe and a couple comes in, and one of them gets in line while the other goes and grabs the last seat? Unfair, right? Not anymore. Activate the Single Fling app, and one of our thousands of agents will speed to your location and throw boiling hot laundry at the couple until they depart. Also works in movie theaters and pet adoption centers. Single Fling. Weaponize your loneliness. And now, sit back and enjoy the show.
Hello from the Magic Tavern, a weekly podcast from the magical land of Foon. I'm your host, Arnie Niekamp. If you've never listened to the podcast before, this is everything you need to know. About 4.5 years ago, I fell through a dimensional portal behind a Burger King in Chicago. It's the one at the intersection of Irving and Clark. But anyway, I fell through that dimensional portal into the magical land of Foon. Luckily, I'm still getting a Wi-Fi signal all over Foon, and I'm using that to upload this podcast I use to document our travels across Foon to defeat the Dark Lord. And I am joined, as always, by my co-hosts, Chunt the Talking Badger and Usidore the Wizard.
I am Usidore, wizard of the 12th realm of Ephesius, master of light and shadow, manipulator of magical delights, devourer of chaos, champion of the great halls of Tarakas. The elves know me as Fiangalak. The dwarves know me as Zonin and Hookstanges, and I am known in the northeast as Gasmwenius Maystar. And there may be other secret names. Oh, yes, names that if air were to cross your ears would cause your very brains to churn to goo and fall out of thine head.
Why do I get so many notes on talking too much? I feel like Usidore gets a pass.
Well, I know, but I don't really listen to what he says. I listen to what you say.
Fine.
And you are Chunt the Talking Badger.
I'm Chunt the Talking Badger.
But you're a shapeshifter.
Yes.
And
I can also currently shapeshift into anything.
Yeah, but
Which is a wonderful gift from my dead husband. What a wonderful parting gift.
Yeah. You can shapeshift into anything, but you always have a badger
quality. I always look like a badger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you always have your badger marking, so you just look like a horse that's a juggalo or something. It's unsettling. I'm going to be honest. It's a little unsettling.
Okay.
Well, anyway, we have been at sea for several weeks, and honestly, the podcast has been at sea for years, but this week we actually have come back to land, and I'm very excited. Usidore, can we maybe have an update on our quest, on our diplomatic mission that we're on?
Oh, but of course. Though we be in this port where we disembarked for a short time, we are but 1 week away from the kingdom of Velsmere.
Velsmere, that's right. We're on a diplomatic mission to Velsmere.
There I shall speak, have parley with the royals and the great people of Foon gathering there, and hopefully together we shall form an alliance to help us defeat evil.
Yeah, but that's coming up right now, Arnie, just looking at the map I got from Corduroy the Bear.
That's right, he's the bear on the ship that's a bartender.
Correct, yep. And we are...
Is it just me? Is there something going on between Corduroy the bear and Lacey the bear?
It's just you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I don't want to make a
Well, there's a history.
Oh, what's the history?
She mauled him.
Oh.
Yeah. So you know those deep scars on his face? Mm-hmm. That's acne. And she made fun of it.
Oh, that's...
And then he got upset, and then she swiped his back.
This story's taking a lot of turns.
Yeah. Speaking of taking a lot of turns, on the map, it looks like we are currently in Cadaver Falls.
Cadaver Falls?
Mm-hmm. Just seems like a little town.
Yeah.
And looks like the bar here is called the Bloated Rabbit.
The Bloated Rabbit?
Mm-hmm.
Why did we choose the tavern name the Bloated Rabbit?
Just a visceral name.
Yeah.
Really conjures up an image.
And this place just seems like a bloated rabbit kind of place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everyone's indulging themselves.
It's a small seaside town. There aren't many options here.
Yeah. If you live in a small seaside town, you're going to have gout. That's period.
Period.
Yeah. What else is there to do except for get gout?
Get gout, maybe catch a fish.
Yeah. Oh, did you see get gout?
I did not. What's get gout?
You never seen someone get gout?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well,
it's kind of scary. I don't know if I'd call it like horror, but it's like psychologically thrilling.
You know, I guess in my brief time in the Chicago improv scene, I did see some of the older performers
How
get
brief
gout.
was? Well, chin up to you.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what? I'm so excited that we're
Wait, you
off-
didn't answer the question. How brief was it?
How brief was it?
Yeah.
I said it was brief, but it was years and years and years, like a long time.
And you said you did improv on a cruise ship,
I did
Painfully long time.
do.
and that was a fucking nightmare.
I did not say it was a fucking nightmare. I think it was a charming, brief experience that I would not have done for a second longer.
A wonderful experience you can't undo.
Exactly. But I'm just excited to be off of our ship and on land and not among just giant bears.
Yeah,
I am glad to be off the ship too. Stephanie is falling apart.
emotionally.
Yes.
The boat is emotionally falling apart.
Oh, yeah, that ship. You know, everywhere I step, like I break through some of the boards, I've
Yeah.
got splinters all around my ankles now.
I got blisters on my fingies.
It's because she's sad. It's
Yeah,
in-
she's because Rodney's gone. They had a thing. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps personifying this ship. She's just a ship that's falling apart.
to each their own.
Aren't we
Anyway.
all, when you think about it, aren't we all just ships falling apart?
Oh, that's very true. Think about it. Aren't we all just ships falling apart?
I don't like sea metaphors. Anyway, look, let's get some guests. Let's talk to some new people.
Way ahead of you, my friend. I
Okay.
found two old friends at the
Oh.
bar here in the Bloated Rabbits.
What, our first returning guests of season 3?
Yep, I've been holding them in my paw the whole time.
What?
No.
I should open it up because it's been a little tight. Please welcome back Mort Sauce and Mel Mole.
Oh, the Mole Warriors.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, I kept you guys in the dark for a little bit.
Okay. It's stinky inside that paw.
That's one of the stinky. I've been in a lot of paws.
Yeah.
A very stinky paw.
Okay.
Great sweat though. I'm a salt freak. You might have felt me sort of going to town.
I've got
on-
something of a salt tooth.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, Mel and Mort, it's so good to see you.
So that if you let me get to
Okay,
the second
yeah.
Oh,
thing,
I'm sorry. No,
Fucking-
go ahead.
that is not us. We're not Mel and Mort.
What?
Actually, incredibly offensive.
Oh
You
my God,
literally
this
see two sexy mole warriors, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, that must be Mel and Mort, as if
Yes.
we all look the
Oh,
same
we
to you,
all
I
look the
guess.
same.
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Arnie, I saw them on the
Unbelievable.
bar. I just swiped them and ran, and I just assumed. Oh, I am. My apologies, Arnie. This works out. New guests.
Oh,
on the
okay.
road. New guests, keeping it fresh. Why don't you introduce yourselves?
I'm Milk Mole.
Milk?
Milk?
Milk.
Because when I was a baby, I would punish the teat. I would basically go to war on the teat.
Interesting.
Much the way I do now on mine enemies.
Your name is?
My nenemies.
I'm Mork Snauce.
Well, Milk, Mork, it's very nice to meet you. I'm very glad that you're here, but if
You're
you
not
ever...
going to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm Usidore, wizard of the 12th
This
realm
ta-
of
this part takes
Ephesius,
a while.
master of light
You
and
gotta
shadow.
wonder if I
manipulator
have
of
a
magical
joke about
lights,
my name.
devourer of chaos, champion of the great halls of Tarakas. The elves know me as Fiang Yalak, the dwarves know me as Zonin Hookstanges, and I'm known in the northeast as Gaswanius Maystar. And
Thank
it's a
you.
pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
You're
I'll
welcome.
say this. You didn't let me say anything else about my name. And the fact of the matter is, now you don't get to hear any jokes because you snossed and you lost. And that's a Mork original.
And don't make a Nanu your ass, but she will do.
Oh. Nanu, nanu.
Nanu nanu.
And that is sort of a war cry. And that will be the last thing you hear.
So you guys,
Terrifying.
you are warriors.
You hear that, and
Yeah.
then it all goes grayish.
So, like the last moles we had on the show, who you two are not, but you are also mole warriors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're moles.
King, Lord, Warrior, Mole, awesome. We do it all.
Yeah.
What else? What do you even want? What do you want?
And that's on your business
What
card.
do you want from me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I host a podcast. It's really just a conversation I have to kind of get to know
Podcast.
my guests. It's
Explain
from
what a
another
podcast
world.
is, yeah.
It's sort of like a type of content from my world.
Who does it? Successful people?
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, more and more, to some extent. They're dipping their toes in.
So it seems something that at one point was a last resort, and now is just sort of a dalliance for the rich and famous.
Basically, the rich and famous are trying to take away the last resort. The people for option list.
Got it. Well, it's funny that you would mention Mel and Mort. They are kind of legendary figures for us
wow.
in a bad way.
Oh.
Notorious.
Yeah. They got, so what's kind of been going on in our world lately is we have sort of realized that there's all this stuff underground.
Oh.
And so
you're moles, though. Like you.
Do you mean like tunnels or do you mean like subterfuge?
Do we mean tunnels or do we mean subterfuge?
Hang on, let me think about whether we mean tunnels or we mean subterfuge.
Arnie, I feel like they're treating me like I'm
We
an
mean
asshole.
tunnels! There's tunnels under there that we can make with our teeth and claws. And something that Mel and Mort discovered by thinking that they were basically climbing a ladder, but we're actually going straight down, is there's all these ants down there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Arnie, you said that's how JFK Jr. died.
He was killed by his aunt. Yeah.
You said he thought he was going up when he was going
I
down.
mean, I'm not good at history, but
okay.
he was killed by his aunt, I think. I might be thinking of the wrong person.
So they get down there. There's all these ants. They wage war on these ants, and they almost take out one.
It was really close.
One of them got like messed up. One of the ants got messed up pretty bad.
He was sort of going sideways a little bit for
if
a
you
minute.
can picture that.
If we were
definitely disoriented for sure.
What a harrowing tale.
Yes.
And one of his little antennae looked bent, but then it just actually was pushed up against the top of the tunnel.
I'm so sorry to have to ask this. I'm from another world, so sometimes things are not what I expect.
Holy shit! How much is he gonna bring this up?
I don't know. Even in the paw, I'm
am
like falling asleep in the paw.
Giving you the response you want from it? Like, say it again, and I'll hopefully put this whole thing to bed.
Well, I am from another world.
What the holy shit?
What an interesting guy!
I mean,
And we're done now, right? Like,
well, I guess I was just asking, like, what size were these ants? Were they giant?
They were ant size.
These were like,
They're actually, to me, they're pretty big ants.
yeah.
Like, honestly, like they were pretty big ants.
It's like you.
Nothing to be ashamed of in losing to these ants.
Well, Arnie, ants on our world are about that big. How big are they on your world?
Yeah, they're actually bigger on my world. That's very small.
That's little.
yes,
Okay,
that's
that's,
okay.
Yeah, that's, but there's a bunch of them.
Yeah. Well, Mel and Mort, they messed up one of the ants, and then they were fully consumed by like 3 or 4 other ants.
Oh, you hate to hear that.
Three or four ants fully consumed 2 moles?
They took their time
How long?
Yeah.
How long we talking?
to the point where like Mel and Mort kind of didn't even notice as it was happening.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They just took kind of little pieces at a time, and then suddenly Mel and Mort look up, and they're like just torso.
Oh, that's so sad.
And they were mostly torso to begin with, to be fair.
Yeah, very hard to distinguish any other section of the mole anatomy.
So you two are also warriors in the vein of Mort and Mel.
Yes.
May I ask, like, what weapons do you have? What are your
Ants.
Ants have become the primary weapon now. So what Mel and Mort did that we thought was a big mistake is they went in there and sort of tried to like start beating up the ants. But if you just go, hey man, I'm an ant too, they'll sort of follow you around.
Oh, very clever.
Oh.
So you've brought these ants under your thrall, and now you control them all?
Yeah. We smear a little honey.
They're under my thrall like crazy.
Yes.
Ooh.
And the thrall is a part of our anatomy. So we
It
sort of
actually feels pretty good when they're under your thrall. It kind of tickles.
we sort of lift up the thrall, and they just all kind of gather under there, and then we just like let it like hang down. There's some in your paw, by the way.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's
There's a couple
I
in your
can
paw.
feel
So
them
if we could
kind
get
of
those back,
biting
doesn't
me.
have to be
Absolutely.
now, but
and
in
this
a
sort
little
of-
bit we are going to need those back.
That's ours.
This sort of 8-foot structure behind you that looks like rotting wood, that's all ants?
Yes, they are forming all kinds of different shapes.
Oh, wow.
They can shapeshift actually better than you.
I believe it.
So they can like spread out, or they can do a clump.
Could they be like a big fist?
Well, that's kind of like a clump, basically.
Yeah, when they become a clump, they will throw this knife through the crack of your ass.
I mean, you can make them into a clump, and it's just as effective as a fist. You're just really showing off. If you
Yes.
make them be a fist. I would
Exactly.
imagine.
Could you be several clumps? Is that impressive?
They can be a
If
whole
you're-
family of
oh.
clumps.
Yeah. They honestly.
And that's
Each
impressive,
playing
right?
different familial roles.
different voices and like.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of them is
But all pretty
sometimes
big.
compared to Hercules by one of the other ones.
But they're all pretty big, right? They maintain size.
they're on the bigger.
The clumps
yeah.
are definitely big. They become big, lumpy clumps, and they have these sort of humorous arguments with one another, and it's actually a lot of fun.
But we can also sick them on our enemies,
Yeah.
and they will actually ruin their whole shit.
Have you put it into practice yet?
It's not really a matter of practice. Doing it is like, that's game time. Like, you can't practice ruining someone's whole shit. You either do it or you don't.
This is
yeah.
what Molda
It's very
says.
true.
There
Yeah.
is no, one of our sort of like elder
Yeah.
leaders. He says there is no practicing, just freaking do it already.
Yeah.
Milk, Mork, I must ask you a question.
Lemonade.
The other mole warriors that we met, Mel and Mort, they did a great boon for us. They spread lies about the Dark Lord that made it back to us. They were very successful. We heard what a corny-ass chump the Dark Lord was.
Okay, yeah, that dude.
Dude sucks.
So
Dude is
corny.
freaking
Yes.
corny weak.
Yes, and desperate.
But will you
Yeah.
join mine quest as well? Will you use your ant army to help us defeat the Dark Lord?
This is great. This is exactly what we've been
Good opportunity.
training for.
Yeah,
this is
because-
huge.
yes.
I mean, not actually practicing or like doing real training, but
Yeah.
what we've been
And
like
not actually
opening up
huge
our
either.
schedule at least to do.
Yeah.
What stuff did you have to move around on your schedule?
Boy,
For me-
smelling stuff.
Yeah, I was going to sniff around. I think I was going to sleep.
Okay, that's important. It's important to
big
get a
day.
lot of sleep.
Yeah, I was gonna do a boon like you said those guys did for you.
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
was
do
boon.
that like once or twice a day.
The boon I was in. Yeah, I had to take a huge boon.
I'll also ask just to, Usidore, you've known for your quests that we're always asking guests to go on. I've decided since we're starting something new that we're off on a journey, we're traversing the lands, I want to have a bit of a side quest. So I found when we got off the boat, I found this little nut. It's called a pity nut. I thought to collect like, 900 of those. As we just go around, it's like a fun little side quest.
Okay.
Would you guys join my side quest? Have you seen any? Let me pull out one of the, it's called a pity nut. It's just like a little...
Have you seen any pity nuts?
So here's the thing for us with like side quests and all that. If we're gonna get these ants to the Dark Lord,
Yeah.
by like the next couple years, we gotta send them now, basically.
Okay.
And
Like
so,
we should.
yeah.
It might already be too late from the time we started this
That's
conversation.
right. They don't live. How long do these ants live?
So this is like a
That's
big
a
issue.
big issue.
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, a lot of them are dead. They just get scrunched up in your thrall and they're done.
Oh yeah.
Well, you clump them up. Some of them are going to get smushed.
That's
And
what
they-
we're finding.
They basically gorge themselves on us.
Oh.
Oh,
And so, like, their stomachs explode from eating pieces of us. So we, this is what we do that's a little different from Mel and Mort. We get fatter at the same time as they're eating us. And it makes us basically invincible.
Yeah.
So basically, it sounds like you're both just infested with ants.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let me say this in response to that. Shut the fuck up. You come into my bloated rabbit tavern. You squish me in a sweaty hot paw that stinks. And then you tell me that I'm infested with my army?
well, we're just concerned that perhaps you're being slowly consumed, just like Mel and Mort were.
Let's say, so if you're drinking, so let me put it in terms you'll understand.
All right.
So you're taking a sip with a straw while I'm pouring more ale in your friggin' mug.
Oh, so it never ends.
Is the mug infested with ale?
Yeah.
Or is the ale part of the mug's army? Yes, that's what it is.
Yes, obviously.
Yes, they've
An
made their
infinite
point.
army of guys.
They've made their point perfectly, Arnie. You were wrong. They are not infested. They have a perfect army that will never end.
And army's great because in a lot of armies,
Yeah.
they aren't like just basically fucking all the time and creating like new soldiers.
Yeah.
Which ours are doing constantly.
And famously,
And we can really feel that.
You can really feel that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it feels crazy. It feels nuts on your thrall, dude. Ooh.
Mork, I'm going to use this opportunity while it seems like you're in a good spot. Mork Snauce, did you have something fun to do with your name up top? I just want to let some time pass because it seemed like...
You Snauce and lost, brother.
I guess we won't get it. Yeah, I guess we'll never get it.
When you Snauce, you lost, my dude.
Well, why don't we take a quick break? I'll get us some ales, some straws. Is there anything?
Probably salt water or something? They have a salt tooth, Arnie.
Oh, would you like some tiny drops of salt water and like a leaf or something?
I would love.
man.
I mean, yes.
Okay.
Like that exact thing would be great.
Yeah, the leaf.
What kind of leaf? Yeah. What
yeah,
are you feeling?
are we? Yeah. To me, I would like it if the leaf was like pointy.
A pointy leaf?
Like
serrated? You know how some of them are like
Yeah.
serrated?
Just like, well, here's what's been going on for me. I could just say, I've been cutting my mouth on the leaves a lot lately when I'm drinking. And at first I was like, this sucks. Like I should find soft leaves. But now I'm starting to actually build up a bit of a callus on the corners of my mouth. And I'm thinking, this could be a really big advantage in war.
Yes, a calloused mouth is the most useful tool when you're fighting your enemies.
Yeah, if somebody tries to like salt waterboard you, like the salt's not getting into your...
Doesn't bother me.
Not
My
get-
mouth
not
is
get deep
calloused.
in, yeah.
Yes.
Or like put a sword in your mouth.
The salt disinfectant. Yeah, it's just like if they want me to suck their sword.
Oh.
In the past, I would have been like, no way.
Do a lot of enemies do that?
Yeah.
There's one of our enemies.
Who is this awful pervy enemy?
He's this. I mean,
just
like
this
I almost
guy.
don't want to
He's like-
give him like the oxygen.
Yeah,
you know
this
what
is
I mean?
exactly what he wants. Is for us to spend the whole tavern trip like
Yeah.
talking about him and his sword
Yeah.
and how we suck his sword.
When he makes you do that, how do you know you're done?
That's a great question. So he's a duck, obviously,
Yeah.
and there's a noise that he makes.
When you suck a duck?
Well, it's a sword.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry.
You suck his sword, but he makes a duck noise. It's like, I know you're going to go like, is it a quack? It's not
It's
a
like a-
quack.
Yes,
Like a
thank you.
Gack?
It's like a queak.
Sort of like, "Week," like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like louder, longer.
Yeah.
Louder, longer. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
A long
And like
queek.
right in your ear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh. Well, let's keep practicing our queeks, and we'll...
We don't practice stuff, but anyway, go ahead.
We'll
Yeah.
be right back with more Hello from the
Okay.
Bloated Rabbit.
Ooh, hey there, good looking. It's Chunt letting you know you can check out all of our bonus material, including my personal favorite, Offices and Bosses, over at patreon.com/Magic Tavern. Bye-bye.
All right, here's your leaf. Here's your leaf. I'm sorry they
Thank
didn't have
you.
any pointy ones.
Okay.
I just got
No,
some
it's
well
okay. It
leaves, so-
kills. It's honestly better. I just feel like I should ask for that.
Sure. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? When people are like, want to do a shot? And you're like, not really. It hurts my throat. But then you're like, I don't want to be the guy who goes like, no. So I go like, oh yeah, line them up, hoss.
What, you don't want to be a corny ass chump, so you wanna look cool.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you,
want
like
to
the
look
Dark
like a
Lord.
badass.
You're gonna be
Yes.
you're gonna be known as a little derp dog if you don't
Yeah.
send
The
those
Dark
shots.
Lord is so fake. Just has that been your experience?
The Dark Lord to me is like so fake. Honestly, the Dark Lord with that, I just go, okay, you're being fake, and I'm not even gonna.
I like your attitude. You exactly understand the exact problem that this evil menace has brought to the world of food. What a jerk.
The
A
Dark
fake
Lord
jerk.
is over. I mean, for me, it's like that's a wrap on the Dark
He's
Lord.
played
Like
out.
when
Is it
you're being
canceled?
He
fake,
canceled himself.
he messed around and
And he
canceled
played
himself.
himself.
He played himself until he was canceled, and
Yeah,
he's fake.
and he fucked around and found out, or he's about to.
Yeah, he's
Because
about
as you,
to.
as you notice, our ants are already over there.
Yeah.
So actually,
They're
well
almost-
on their way. They were here a second ago, and now they're over
Off
there.
to the races.
yeah,
They're
and
almost
the
off
ants
the
are
table.
moving,
Yes,
yeah.
except for the ones that are still in Chunt's
Some of
pod,
them
and I
are
will
still
be
Some of
dead.
those are dead, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them died.
Can I ask just to get a sense of like the local lore, just like what's going on? Because you know,
In Cadaver
we-
Falls?
Yeah, what?
Cadaver Falls.
Cadaver Falls. Da, 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 da.
Oh, this is a fun little song.
We
Is that-
hate it.
Oh, okay.
We
I'm
have to
sick
do
of it,
We
but
How did
have
Cadaver
to
Falls
do
get
this
its
song.
The
name?
mayor
Is there-
makes you do it.
The mayor makes you do it?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
It's the
The mayor.
duck.
I was just going to ask that.
Duck,
I
yeah.
knew it.
Oh, Haas.
I have to do the
It's a bit of a scandal.
Yes, we didn't want to say. I guess we accidentally said it. It's Haas.
Haas the duck.
That makes me so angry when someone abuses their power, when a mayor is elected into office and given the privilege from the people to lead others, and even when we do raise a duck up to this status, to this station, and they abuse it so. I shall have words with this duck.
He wasn't really elected. He just kind of picked up the sword. We had sort of this legendary sword on the ground.
Whoever doth pick up this sword.
Yeah, and whoever was able to
And so many people
pick
were
up
like,
the sword on the ground.
Some people are like, one of these days I'm going to get around to picking
Yes.
that sword
Was
up.
there a few
Yeah.
people who picked it up from the wrong end, or like how many
Well, there
people?
was a question of what picking it up is. So if
Hating on
you're-
it, or
Yeah, so if you're like a mole, for example, and you sort of like tip yourself over to where your little grabbers land on the hilt of the sword, and then you fold your grabber fingers
sounds-
around the sword, that's picking it up.
it sounds like you
Okay.
attempted it.
Let me tell you.
Well, I attempted. I would actually say that I did it. Just
me-
because I can't lift myself back up again.
And what is this picking it up then? If that's not picking it up, is this picking it up? You kind of wiggle your little butt right up to the edge of the hilt, and then you freaking kick it, and it like goes,
Yes.
like hops. Is that picking it up?
I think those are both picking it up,
Yeah,
personally.
thank you.
Thank
yeah,
you.
tell the mayor, please. Thank you, because yes.
Or tell us that, because that means that we are the mayor.
Yeah, because we already were the mayor.
So when you guys suck this sword, do you suck it to the hilt?
I'm getting there.
Right now, I
That's,
can't.
I guess, the one thing I do kind of practice at.
I threw up on it. I fucking threw up on it.
What was his response?
I think he wanted me to.
What I was going to say was, is there a origin? How did Cadaver Falls get its name? Have you been here your whole life?
Well,
Are
you actually hit
recent,
the nail
or-
on the head. It was an orgy.
Oh, it's an orgy story?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was an orgy story. A bunch of people were orgying, and basically, so it's not an extremely populated area, and in order to make it feel like a crazier orgy, people decided to start incorporating cadavers just so there were sort of more moves available.
It looks lame to just be like in this huge open space. Just like an orgy of like
Some filler.
of
yeah.
like 3 of us, and then one's kind of on the edge. Like, where do I like?
Yeah, like,
Get in
is
on
it
this?
cool or are you? You seem focused, so
Yes. And so at first the cadavers were just to get to even numbers. So everyone, like, no one was left out.
yeah, everybody had kind of a square dance partner.
Yes.
Do I also
But we're
sense a-
finding mostly the moves that the cadaver does is falls over.
Yeah.
So that's how it sort of got its name.
Am I picking up on a bit of OCD in terms of like you need an even number of orgy partners?
OCD is like, you mean like that specific move that we do? Orifice control device.
Yeah,
That's
we
not a
yeah.
move, more of an invention.
I guess you keep hitting on the things that we do practice.
Yeah.
We don't practice fighting stuff,
Yeah.
but we practice sword sucking and we practice OCD, which is orifice control device.
And this is from your mentor taught you this. Is that what I heard previously?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Molda.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has incredible moves. Just if you saw the stuff he could do, he'd be your mentor too.
But not a great public speaker, right? A bit of a.
He
what I
talks in
hear-
a weird, crazy
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, it's not a
yeah.
traditional sentence structure when you're dealing with Molda.
Yes. But when your mouth is punishing the teeth, you don't have to talk much. And it is going to sound crazy if you do talk. But we're trying to get more like back into the war stuff.
Yeah.
It was kind of scaring us for a while, and so
But
the
now we
war-
actually have an army.
yeah.
Yeah, and the war has escalated. The Dark Lord has taken over so much of Foon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. That's so fake. All the followers that are just like, oh, I'll do
Yes.
the Dark Lord. and
Thank
it's like,
you.
don't see right through how fake and corny he's being.
Well,
How many followers does he have? Is he verified or?
I mean, to me,
I think he like
no.
knows someone.
I think he bought some of his followers.
you can usually tell from like the like ratio. Like if you gather the army and you say like give thumbs up, thumbs down, who likes the Dark Lord?
Yes.
If there's 1 million followers and like
Thank
20 are
you.
giving a thumbs up, it's like something's going on.
It's so
here.
fake.
Yeah.
It's not like the real way to get followers, which is let them eat your pieces.
And continuing to ingest food so that you don't lose all of your pieces.
Yes, doing it in a smart way.
Yeah, in a smart way.
It's
Yes.
very smart. If you do skip a meal, you do risk losing like an organ or a limb, just because you're not providing enough insulation. Really, to me, worth it.
I would like to grant you both a favor if you are willing to listen to what I propose.
Okay.
I would like to enchant your skeletons, so just in case you miss a meal, your skeletons will still be alive. What do you think?
Oh wow, I'd
Okay.
be so skinny.
So this is like enchanting stuff has always been kind of weird. I had this enchanting done on me where I was like big for a second on another
Same.
podcast that I did.
Scared my
Yes.
butt
Yes,
off.
that like made me
What-
big. I'm just honestly the vertigo is just clearing.
Wait, that happened with Mel and Mort on our,
happened on our podcast.
podcast back in Hogsface.
What was the name of the podcast?
It was like friggin'
Like,
what's
here,
up
Here goes
from
the friggin'
from the crazy bar.
yeah.
I hope that was us.
Well, this is very interesting because I definitely did an enlarging spell on Mort and Mel, and you're saying you had a similar experience.
Okay.
No, because it
So-
wasn't this. What's your thing? What's this?
This is Hello from the Magic Tavern.
No, this was like Heyo from the Mushy Torben.
No, I think that's us. I think you're confused.
What's a tour?
Am I those guys?
Wait, which one of you is Milk and which one of you is Mork?
I'm Mork for
I'm
sure.
Milky.
Oh, I wish I could
think they said it the
remember
other way
it.
before.
You know what? I am actually maybe. So what happens a lot is I look down at myself
I know where you're going.
and I do look kind of like some of these other guys.
I can't actually even really see.
That's a good point. Moles
So
are well
that's-
known.
that-
I didn't want to
that's
say.
like-
I didn't know if that was a rumor because I don't know if bats are. I think they just use like a location, so I didn't want to say anything.
I don't even have that. It's a lot of just like
The ants
nodding.
ate our ears.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So wait. So
The ants ate your ears?
the ants are eating
Yeah.
your ears.
Yeah.
You
Well, they
said
ate
Mort
more
and
food.
Mel got eaten alive.
Okay. So that is maybe what happens.
Yeah.
Here,
Could
Arnie.
it be that you
That
misheard
could
your
be.
own names?
Now
Forgot
that
who you were?
I am actually kind of remembering burying in the ground.
Okay.
Found a
Yeah.
bunch of ants
Yeah.
and actually messed up. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And
Yeah,
I pushed him.
Did he fall over?
I like came really close and got like fully disoriented.
I
It was like- it
shoved
was like,
one.
like trying to like catch his balance and stuff.
I
How
shoved
dare
one
you.
into this really sort of shallow part of the tunnel, and he was like, just being like, "Oh man," and get me out of here, you know. But I do think that when the ants ate my ears, that one of them did get in my brain and ate the part of my brain that knows what my name is.
Well, I'm going to offer you a different enchantment.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
enchantment is to take that ant out of your brains so that your brains work again.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
I'm afraid that I need him there now.
Okay.
Like what I'm worried
Oh,
about is
yeah.
that he's
It's better than
he's
nothing at this
structural.
point, for
yeah,
sure.
And
Keeping
who
you
I-
alive.
Symbiotic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, very well then. I shall leave you be. And,
Wait, what was the other one? What was the other
The
enchantment?
skeleton.
Enchant your skeletons?
Skeletons.
Okay.
Do you want enchanted skeletons? So in case you miss a meal and you're eaten up, that your skeletons will
That
still be
could
alive?
solve my brain problem as well.
That's very true.
And I'm like just like a mole skeleton, just like imagine the Dark Lord.
The Dark Lord.
He's like
so
sitting up there with his
jealous.
fake ass, and then I show up. I'm glowing.
Oh, I don't.
Why would you be
Dude,
glowing?
Yes,
I don't
I'm
know
like
why
this.
they think
Okay,
they'd be
so he's
glowing.
enchanting me, and he's making me be a living skeleton, but I can't glow.
I have like wings. I'm like a flying, glowing mole skeleton.
I can do that. Don't worry about it. I wasn't going
I
to,
can't
but I
see.
will.
Do whatever you want. Just tell me I'm glowing.
The Dark Lord like goes to grab me and he like misses.
You know what? You guys, you have your ant army, but that moves so slowly, but you're so ready to fight the Dark Lord. Maybe, Usidore, could you teleport them deep into the Dark Lord's
Guts.
guts?
Yeah, his bottom of
Why
his
didn't we
guts.
try that? Teleport somebody inside the Dark Lord, then they explode out.
We will. So one thing we have practiced, as we said earlier, is getting up in them guts.
Yeah.
So
With a sword or with?
with whatever's around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can call it a sword.
So if you could teleport us in there, that would save us a lot of time because historically we do it pretty slowly.
It takes forever.
I would love to teleport them there, but I don't know exactly where the Dark Lord is. If I knew,
that'll be hard to figure out where his guts are. Though.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to end up in the wrong guts.
No, you don't want to do that.
Well, it's been a while since we've done any magic, so at the very least, Usidore, I guess you could enchant their bones.
Sure.
Just do it. All
right.
I don't give a... Who cares?
Arath, Krach, Gniach.
Ow, 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 ow.
Are you all right?
Right in my ear. I know the ants ate it, but there's still some structures in there. Could you just back up a little bit?
Oh, I'm all done. Yours.
Oh, shit.
You've already enchanted.
Okay,
your
you
skills.
finished?
I finished.
I'm sorry that I talked over your whole spell.
No, it's all right.
No, I always do this.
No, it's fine.
No, this is why she left.
What?
Whoa.
Who left?
One of the ants.
One of the ants I liked.
What was the aunt's name?
Auntie.
Mork and Auntie.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
What was the reason she left?
I kind of just fucking said it. I just told you.
Yeah.
I did the behavior to him, and then I told you that's the behavior that. I guess if you had someone leave you, I know why. You don't.
Well, that's fair. I have
listen.
my ears, but I don't listen. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, can I ask, why did she leave?
Yeah, what was the causation? If nothing else, maybe an inciting incident.
Well, I don't know how to. I feel like I did say. Now I'm going is this happening? Am I remembering this
Or did
correctly, or is
did
that
the
ant in my brain?
Yeah, running things.
Can you not
Is he
see
just-
that Mork is in pain?
I can't see. No.
He was talking
I admitted
to
that.
me.
He doesn't
can't
know who
see-
you're
yeah.
talking
Oh,
to
I'm
without you
sorry.
have to say. You can't just
Yeah.
face someone.
I was speaking to Chunt and Arnie, and I wanted to know if they saw that you were in pain. And just quit asking
Oh yeah,
me
he's
these
got ants
painful
eating
questions.
all his pieces.
That's right.
Which, by the way, one just took out a big finger piece for me, and I can see my bone.
Oh.
And it is normal colored bone.
And it's not glowing.
And I
Is
can
it?
see I can hold it right up to where my eye used to be. And I can kind of tell.
Not to
light and dark we know about.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
sure.
all right.
If it's really close.
guys,
Yeah.
not to defend my friend, but you did talk over his spell,
Okay. And who are you talking to?
Arnie.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you've been a real chatty Cathy
okay.
this episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it maybe Usidore, is it the kind of thing where they have to actually go into a totally dark room for the bones
Okay, and
to
I'm in
glow?
there.
You have to sit in the sunlight for a little while and sort of charge up your bones to get that full glow
okay.
effect.
Yeah, so it still
okay.
possibly works.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Hey, Usidore?
Yes.
Use the door.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. And I know why Auntie left.
That reminds me, I was going to ask, why did she leave?
Yes, why did she leave?
Ow. My heart is getting eaten by the ants.
Well, Mel and Mort, or Milk and Mork, whatever. I mean, I'm willing to call each of you whatever you want to be called now.
Molk.
Molk? All right, Molk.
Molk milk.
Can I be the same?
Yes, but which same?
Which of am I talking?
Now they don't even know which one is which between themselves.
Arnie, I think it's their personalities.
Well, also, they said ants chewed their ears off. It's a tiny miracle this conversation is happening at all. I think they're just talking.
That's me, tiny miracle, baby.
Well, anyway, thank you so much for being on the show. I don't even think you hear me saying that, but why don't we before we end the episode, let's read an email. You can always email me at magictavern@puppies.supplies. It's a real email address.
Unless we're on the boat, and then it's a
A C-mail
thank you
address. But that doesn't affect how you send it.
What's
Yeah,
the
from
C
Earth.
stand for?
correspondence.
Correspondence mail. Exactly.
We use email.
You use email?
Mm-hmm.
What's your email address?
My email address is
Mine's
Molk at the ground.
Mine's emo at Memo.
You still use Mimo?
Emo at Memo.bmo.
And that's one of those paid ones where you it actually costs money to have
Yeah.
an email address.
Yeah.
Well, here's an email that I got. Hi, Arnie. I was wondering if you know how big Foon is and if you know any other villains besides the Dark Lord. Best, Aubrey Patone, age 13, New York City, Earth.
I mean, I don't want to. It's not my place to speak, but would we say Haas the mayor, the duck mayor, is a villain?
That's interesting. So, as soon as you think that he is a villain,
I'll do something really
yes, like really nice, and it's like he knows when you need something, when you're like sad or whatever, and he'll like kind of instead of the other sword thing, he'll kind of like pet you with the sword.
cool. Yeah.
Does he do
Nice-
anything
in a
not
nice
involving
way.
the sword?
It's hard at this point, like because then he would have to put it down.
Yeah, you'd have to put it down.
and then I'm just falling right on it.
He used to play guitar a lot. Like, he used to really jam
Just
out,
wail on it. Yeah.
which fucking kicked ass.
Yeah. Also, this is kind of written on the map, but maybe smudged. In Cadaver Falls, is there the mayor, and then also you're ruled by a size queen?
There's the okay. So what's like the org chart now?
It's it keeps sort of shifting around. So it's like the mayor, the size queen, King Midas Mufflers has moved in. And then there's also Prince Rakim, which is the name that the RZA originally rapped under. You guys like RZA?
I mean, I like Earth RZA. Is there a RZA?
Oh, there's one here. There's one where you're from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm from another world.
Arnie,
Oh, Jesus. This is so exhausting.
RZA in Foon was a lyricist who was killed by his royal court and rose up from the dead to continue to be a lyricist and a musician. So he rose up. He is risen. He
is
shortened
risen.
it to RZA. He is risen. And
But it used
he
to be
became
Prince Rakim. And the chorus would go, ooh, we love you, Rakim.
And to answer the other question about like is Foon big? It's not that big. I could probably run across it if I could run.
Well, anyone can run across it. How long does it take you?
Again, I haven't actually tried to ever run,
And
but
you
if
won't,
I could,
right?
I
You'll either
could
do
probably
or-
do it in like 2 seconds.
I just did it and I'm back.
I think they might be confused on this one, Arnie. I've been to Earth, and Earth's about half the size of Foon.
Really?
Yes, very
Foon is
big.
that big?
Very big.
Okay, so I could run across it in 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
so,
all
yeah.
right.
And I just did it and I came back. I'm back already.
And there are lots of other villains. There's
Just did it again.
Nevarian the Brutal, Skullmaster,
Auntie.
Andy.
Auntie. This is Auntie.
Auntie's a villain.
Auntie. We named our ants by their location on our bodies, so that one was named Auntie Dick.
Wow. If suppressing laughter at your own jokes could be harnessed as a renewable energy source, I'd have some banging news for polar bears. Usidore the Wizard was played by Matt Young. Chunt the Shapeshifter was played by Adal Rifai. Yes, Adal, you get all the notes for talking too much, and that's exactly as it should be. Milk Mole and Mork Snauce, the Mole Warriors, were played by Hayes Davenport and Sean Clements. For more Sean and Hayes, check out the Hollywood Handbook podcast. Arnie, Matt, and Adal were even on a recent episode. Well, best to get it out of the way, I suppose, like a vaccination. Hello from the Magic Tavern is produced by Arnie Niekamp, Matt Young, and Adal Rifai. Post-production coordination by Garrett Schultz. This episode edited by Garrett Schultz. Special assistance by everyone's favorite chipper buckaroo, Ryan DiGiorgi. Hello from the Magic Tavern logo by Allard Laban. Theme song by Andy Poland. No sea shanty variation this week. Sorry, Alvin Flamingo, or whatever it was. But I did intercept an email where someone named Tom Lopes recorded a heavy metal version of the Seven Dragons and a Baby theme song under the name One Angry Roaring Orc. Let's listen. Let's stop listening. How about we skip ahead a little bit? No, let's not listen anymore ever again. Special thanks to the show's earwolf producer, Kimmie Lucas. Kimmie, on the console in front of you has got to be a delete button. You have the power to end all of this. Never forget that. But now, I have a new work environment to explore and an elderly office manager who's not gonna gaslight herself. Corinne, did you see that article I forwarded? 300 household items your cat can and will choke on in seconds?
Hey, thank you for listening to Hello from the Magic Tavern. A great way to support the podcast is to join our Patreon. You'll get ad-free versions of our entire back catalog, including all the Magic Tavern spin-offs like Offices and Bosses, I Am Spin Tax, Shadow Sit. There are a lot of them. There are 2 new exclusive bonus episodes every month, Discord, all kinds of stuff. To get more information, go to patreon.com/Magic Tavern. That's patreon.com/Magic Tavern.